All right, so we are live.
Where is everybody?
Okay, so yeah, you were telling me about this harness you had made.
Yeah, you see down here in the down by his feet. That's the first harness I made. I'm gonna try different techniques to see if it works. The first one I wanted to see if it would hold together. When I glued it, I
Right,
cut it. The plastic is cut in the strips from a yogurt container. It's like that thin plastic. I cut that in the strips and then glued it together in a harness to see how well would it hold together. Because once you try, manipulating it, putting it over the figure, it could break or crack in some way. And so I put that one together, painted it orange anyway, to see if it would hold together. Then I realized it's got to have that taper to it, sort of like it comes to a V down by his waist. And so I made the
right.
second one that he's wearing now, and the texture. Another experiment I tried is I bent a piece of metal into a U shape, and then with the ball peen hammer, I went and tapped in. Can you tell there's texture to it?
Right.
I tapped in the texture, but I'm thinking the next one I'll use more than one technique. I'll have that texture at the bottom, and then up towards the top where his shoulders are, I'm going to actually apply secondary pieces, because when you look at his original, this is the cross cell art, but it's a different type of a texture. It actually stands out. It's three-dimensional. There's
Yeah.
the three other. You notice the same type of idea that they have, where I'm thinking the bottom part, I'll use that texture, that tapping texture, and then these ones up here will actually be applications that I'll apply on top of that, so they kind of stand out more. But I'm still in research and development mode.
Right. Well, it's the best customs are trial and error.
Yeah. See, on this first one, I just used paint applications, because every layer of paint you apply, you make the item larger or thicker. And so
Right.
I just went and dabbed on some paint. And of course, as it dries, it changes shape. When I first I painted it on in the shape of those little, to that texture that he had on his harness. Whereas the
Okay.
original toy, he didn't actually wear a harness. That was molded directly onto his body, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it did come off.
That's what I thought. Yeah, clear as original. And so I'm thinking that waist piece, it's almost practically completely smooth. So I'll probably make that from scratch and start experimenting with that, because with that first harness that I made, I can get the plastic to stay in that circle. I can get it to fit over his body. It's just that I didn't make this harness long enough. It goes all the way down uh, past his belt, and so I'm thinking I'll forego having the standard Masters of the Universe belt. I'll have a scratch belt, because it's
Right.
pretty much just smooth. So I'll probably
I got it.
replace the cod piece and the belt, but it's still a work in progress. I haven't really. I don't want to ruin a figure, until I know I can get the
Yeah.
harness just right, the belt just right. Then once I'm happy with that I know it can be done, then I'll start painting. I already ruined that muscles figure. I don't know if you recognize the head.
No, so you cut that off. That's not a 3D print.
Yeah, no, it's like a rubberized plastic. You're familiar with the muscles figures,
Yep.
or
Yep. I had them
figurines? They're
too.
actually figurines. A while ago, I kind of figured they would sell out, so I ordered a bunch of different Masters of the Universe muscles figures. And
Oh,
later
nice.
on, when I went and checked, sure enough, yeah, the green one is sold out. I don't know where, if a scalper might have it, but they were already sold out of Hordak. I wanted to buy a Hordak one, and and custom use his head. But now we're going to get a Hordak with the the Hordak Attack set that's coming out.
That's right.
Now, you pre-ordered that?
I did. I pre-ordered that. 2 slime pits and the land shark.
Did you charge it or use a debit?
I put on my PayPal card, so I've got a PayPal business account, so I've got a MasterCard through them.
Yeah, I was noticing people were talking about that online, and someone had said,
they charged me yet or not.
Yeah, they pre-ordered it, and they said, "Oh, well, they already charged my account. Does that mean?" And I'm like, "Well, see, if it's debit, if you use a debit, they deduct the funds immediately. It's just like cash. But if you use a credit card or some type of a credit, they don't charge your account until it's ready to ship." So when I first heard that, I'm thinking, "Oh, we're always getting bad news of pre-order shipping late. Maybe this time we're going to get a pre-order shipping early because it ships or it's available on the 1st of November. So it's less than 2 weeks away."
That would be awesome. I hope in 2 or 3 weeks we're doing a show where we're all
right. Yeah. I always like those shit. As soon as we get new stuff, we're like, "Oh yeah, we got to have a show."
Look what I got. Well, that and also I've seen. Okay, let me find a picture and then we'll switch over. I've seen pictures of people have been sharing the boxes for the Series 5 figures. But I don't know. Oh, we lost Chris. Well, all by myself. Let's see then. Well then, folks, I'm going to switch to the build cam. I'm going to build a Rutan. Oh. You came back.
Where's everybody else?
Mr. Brian has popped in.
Yeah, there he is. What are you working on?
Me or Nate?
There we go. I can hear you. What's going on, Mr. Brian?
Not much. Just had computer problems. Wasn't loading up right for some reason.
Be a glitch. We're too close to Mars.
Something. Who knows? So what are you guys talking about?
Chris was talking about, his custom.
Oh yeah, your Cobra
Khan figure. Yeah.
Yeah, the belt looked pretty good. Or armor, or whatever. He's kind of wearing suspenders or something.
Overexposure. Yeah, I was basically first just working off a memory. Then when I actually decided, I should probably look up actual pictures. And I'm like, that's why it doesn't look right, because I have a short harness, that ends above the belt, where I'm thinking the next harness I make, it's going to go all the way down past his waist. And then it'll have a secondary, band. And he's not going to wear this actual just normal belt. It'll be a custom made belt. But I wanted to, experiment to see, can I get a realistic looking harness, the one that, it looks halfway decent, before I start ruining a figure by painting it, because this is my only merman I have left. The other one is still in an unopened box, and I'm like, I'm not going to get him out of the box yet until I know I can properly make this into a decent Cobra Con. then I can just open up the other one. And I got a merman, but like I'm not going to ruin a merman for no reason.
Yeah.
I'm not 12 anymore. and I look back at like all the toys I ruined as a kid by customizing them, and I'm like, oh man, those things are worth some money now.
Yes, they are.
You guys remember Shrinky Dinks?
Yeah.
Did you ever have Shrinky Dinks?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that? Like some of the older toys when we were kids growing up are, I don't know how kids feel about them today, but like they're classics. Why don't where can I go to get a Slinky? They still sell Slinkies?
I don't know. We're old. I keep hearing that kids don't like action figures these days. So who knows?
Yeah. A lot of the stuff are just really meant for collectors.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Everything Hasbro's coming out with, and Mattel.
Yeah. That's it. I was thinking because of 3D printing, I was thinking, there could be, I wouldn't go as far as saying single batch, but with 3D printing now, if only 12 people on the entire planet want a specific action figure, it wouldn't be that hard, because all someone has to do is come up with what will be the official, 3D design, post the 3D, plans, and then you just commission. If you don't have a 3D printer that is quality, high enough quality, then you would just commission someone to print the parts. And if you don't feel comfortable with painting it, then another commission of someone that would paint it for you and assemble it to you and ship it to you. Because what I'm describing is really the way the industry works, only it's done in bulk, where they do it with like millions of products, hundreds of thousands of products. Now with 3D printing, it could be like one, someone wants, because it won't be one, it would be, hundreds. But it kind of eliminates the excuse that we get of, why don't we have this figure? Why don't we have that figure? And I think it's more of a the sales technique. Never give your customer exactly what they want on the first sale. Give them just enough to keep them coming back to buy more. And that's why, like, years ago, like, I collect Transformers, that like we got a Transformer and it vaguely looked like the G1 figure, but it's not. And you bought it. So you had that character in your collection. And then the following year, a much better version comes out, like, oh, that's way better than what I got last year. I'm going to get this one. And then a couple of years down the line, another one comes out that's even more accurate to the G1. And we're like, why do they keep on upgrading them? Because if they gave us this accurate cartoon G1 figure 4 years ago, would you have bought the other two lesser figures? No. They're doing it in increments. So I'm thinking, like, another 4 years from now, how accurate G1 are figures going to be? Because really, what we really want is, as far as vintage, we want what we imagined in our heads when we were kids. And you look at the older photos of the toys we had, and like,
oh, he's fading out.
Did he get stuck or okay? So it's not me.
He looks like he's in pain.
It's like I hate to laugh. What's that commercial about the internet with the sister's looking at the baby? She's like, poor Chris is like,
oh, you're frozen, Chris. If you can still hear us.
Yeah, I hope he comes back.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, though. It's kind of like he was talking about, almost a digital download for a action figure file.
Yeah, which there are. I mean, people have got them out there, and you can definitely commission people to print them and commission people to paint them. So,
yeah, I mean, it would just be different, like he's saying, if Mattel actually did it.
Oh, so. I see. Like Mattel released. Well, but if they're going to go that far, they might as well produce them themselves. So.
Well, yeah, but an example would be like the things that end up not being released because they cancel a line.
So yeah, keeping the files for the prototypes or the toys that almost made it.
They have the digital models, so he's right. They could do something like that, but they'd probably do it more for things they just didn't want to actually get around to make or couldn't make because the line gets canceled.
Yeah, sometimes the line gets canceled. Sometimes I've heard stories they recall a figure or a toy before it's even produced. So and if they started production, then there's that many of them already made, but then they never make it to shelves.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be destroyed, but they end up, getting taken home by employees and being sold as prototypes.
Yeah, true.
So,
yeah, some people are prototype collectors. That's I can't get into that.
That's money right there. That is some money. All right, let's see. Chris has come back.
The internet actually went out.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's problems all over the place. Well, there's a storm going on outside right now. I really didn't even think about that until I looked over. First everything went black.
Right.
When I was talking about the reminiscing on older figures, and then now they have the Classics Masters of the Universe figures. And when I first saw those, I'm like, that's exactly what I imagined, when I saw the figures for the first time. And then when you look back at the older figures, the simple, what they had, 8 points of articulation, as opposed to the 12 or more points of articulation that figures have today.
Yeah.
All right, which one are you talking about?
The classic original vintage Masters of the Universe figures. They had the head turn, so that's 1 point of articulation. The arms go back and forth.
The legs swiveled in.
Yeah, that's 2. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a ball joint. I've seen videos on people that would figure out a way to fix them. Because I have a battle damage Skeletor, and both of his legs broke off, but I still have him. I got to put him away somewhere.
It looks like a little rubber dumbbell. It's just a little piece of rubber with 2 balls on it. You can buy them. You got to buy like 100 of them though. You can buy them on Amazon. Yeah, there's toy collectors that have been printing those off for a while. You can buy the pack and you just slide it in there and pop the legs right back on.
Yeah. Yeah, I at first I was thinking friends were saying just super glue his legs back on. You're not going to play with him. He's just going to sit on a shelf. I'm like, no, but I thought of it. I thought of it. No, I'm not going to do that.
Look around on Amazon, eBay. They look like little black dumbbells. They're not like this big, and they fit. They're just the replacement part for the legs, for the joints.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you even got to take the body apart or anything. You just snap it in there.
Do you have any of the vintage figures?
I've got a faker on a speed racer.
But you got them put away somewhere?
Huh?
But you got them put away somewhere?
Nah, he's a junker. He's sitting on my shelf with my Origins line. That's a great skull.
He's all hairy, covered with dust.
Yeah, he's a little dusty, probably.
I put them away. I had vintage figures on display, and they had hair on them from the amount of dust and grease and everything in the air that collected on them. That's what ruined them. That I think the grease in the air had deteriorated the rubber that was holding his legs on. So I still have. What?
I say the only reason I have this faker, this Classics He-Man figure, or the original, is because I won a Mega Construx faker in an auction on one of the Facebook groups, and the guy sent me the wrong figure.
Weird.
But in a way, that was kind of an upgrade, though. You actually got better than what you
the one I wanted. was like, yeah, dude, you sent me a faker, but it's not the right faker. And he's like, haha, you don't have the other one anymore.
Yeah, if you think
Right,
about it, that is really meta. That's really meta. It's a
Yeah.
fake. It's a fake faker. It's a real faker, but it wasn't the real thing that you wanted.
It was the fake faker I wanted. Right.
Yeah.
So
Can't really
I
call
got
it.
this
It's not a
picture brought
knockoff.
up.
So who's
I think-
online?
Who's online?
Yeah.
Isn't me chatting here?
Yeah. Who's in the chat?
No, there's nobody watching, nobody chatting.
Yeah, I
Just
don't
us.
see anybody.
But yeah, I brought this picture up. Did you post this, Brian? I see it on one of the groups. I think you put it in our group chat.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so now there's full boxes of these out there.
Yeah. It sounds like I get the feeling not in the US.
I know. Why is that? Why do we get treated this way?
We'll see though. Hey, do you have Chris, you're in Indiana, so you guys have Meyer stores, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only store around here that still carry Masters of the Universe Mega Blocks when they have them.
Yeah.
But my Walmarts don't carry anything. They got Pokemon, but I don't know who I got to talk to get them, to start ordering, because otherwise I'm some crazy old guy badgering the manager. So I'm not going to do that.
Can you order online and just get it delivered to your store?
Yeah, that's like the Castle Grayskull I got. That was through. Even though I went on Amazon, it connected me to Walmart, and it's considered sold from Walmart. Even though now they still label it as an Amazon exclusive. And then since then, I just got a pre-order. Like when those Skeletor heads first came out,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know if my stores are going to carry them. When the Mega Bloks fit minifigures first came out, they got the first wave. I remember seeing them in the store, and then when I saw they were out, I'm like, I'm going to be watching them. And I was the kind of person that my kids are grown now, but I was the parent that when we go shopping, the very first place we go is a toy aisle. We go straight to the toy aisle. And then you look at all the toys. Okay, now we got to go shopping. Then if you're good and don't act like a maniac, maybe we can go back and we'll pick something up. And that's kind of like the way I was even trained as a kid, of like, the reason you go to the toy aisle first is because the kids are going to I want to go to the toy aisle. I want to go to the toy aisle. Hey, is it okay if I go to the toy aisle? It's like, well, no, we'll go to the toy aisle first. Then after, while we're shopping, based on how you act, if you can, maintain yourself as a human being, then maybe, we'll go back and get something. And I remember using the word, what do you want as opposed to what do you need? And even at a young age, I remember my son being real slick about it. And he goes, Daddy, I need this. See, you're paying attention. I need this. Okay, fine. We'll get it. It's only $5.
My wife lets me go to the toy aisle.
But and so because I'm still in that mode of, because I'm a collector and I like looking, I like shopping and looking and buying. I would notice that I would go to the store 2-3 times a week. So what are the odds of, I just checked the aisle, they don't have any more Masters of the Universe figures, and then they get them in, they all sell out within one day, or are they not restocking? And so when I go to the same aisle and I look at the same box and the same figures, the picture there of the box that are left in there, and I noticed it was eventually the box with nothing but what was it, that X-Files alien and the agent Fox Mulder, and I remember for a long time there was the Fry from Futurama figures, and so I kept on noticing, the figures they're not replenishing the figures; it's the same figures. And eventually it was an entire box of nothing but Fry and the alien from X-Files, and that was it. And later on, I realized I missed an entire figure, or a couple of figures. I think the Faker was somewhere in that wave, the first Faker, and then I get them mixed up. There was the blue harness. What was the flying guy's name? I forget his name. Stratos, yeah. One had a blue harness, and the other one had a red harness, and I always get those two mixed up. But I didn't have a Stratos, and then later on, another Stratos came out, and I got the second Stratos, but I didn't get the first Stratos, and I'm still missing a Faker in a single package. I'm the kind of collector that I want one that's it's open that I can have on a shelf or to play around with, and then another one in an unopened package, which is pretty much normal, isn't it? The way most collectors are. You want one mint in package and one for shelf display. And I'm still missing a Faker for mint in package, whereas I think I got both Stratoses now in package, one with the red harness, one with the blue harness.
Ooh, I haven't checked if I have both of those yet.
But you're aware of them.
Yes, I do know two of those. And then how many different Man-at-Arms were there?
Yeah, I think 3 maybe.
Yeah, the one that came with Castle Grayskull, the one that came with is that another one that came with the Battlebone set?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because was only one has a mustache, right? The other two don't have mustaches.
I don't know. There was only one that came in a single pack, though. Is that right?
Yeah, and I have one on my shelf right now, and I have one still in an unopened package. So that was another one that there was at one time I saw like 4 or 5 of them in a box at a Walmart a long time ago, and something in my head was like, buy all of them. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Should have bought them all. Because now, how much, if you go on eBay and try and buy one, still in a sealed package, they want like $40 for it. But then again, we talked about this before a few shows ago, didn't we? How many of those do you have in package? Don't you got like a whole box of them?
Yeah, I've got a lot.
Right. Yeah, your voice was right. You listened to it. I told my voice. That's on my voice. No, I'll get them later on. Next time I came, they're all gone.
Yeah. On that note, I mean, I think Mega seems to grow in value way faster than a lot of other collectibles, mainly because they're not easy to get. So
exactly, yeah. Because like I was saying, my local store is a hit and miss kind of. Are they going to get it? Or are they not going to get it? Have you seen the Scuba Tack at retail again? I think there was only that one time that I saw it at retail. So I have one that is open that I built that's on display, and I have another one that's never been opened. It's still, I put it away. That it's never been opened. But the other sets, I got dozens of those. There are some people. There was like the one guy a while back. He had that entire mountain, an entire mountain of those Skeletor heads, and I'm like, yeah, that's normal. But it's the Scuba Tack one.
There's plenty of them by me. I was going to ask you guys that. If I had a challenge,
is it regional?
I don't. Well, I'm in the land of Target here.
Was there a certain set that you're looking for that you can't find?
No, well, battle rams aren't in almost any store anywhere.
Because it reminds me of collectible comics. I don't know if they're still doing it, but years ago, they made it a point of selling certain comics with different covers in different regions. So if you lived in New York and you went to the comic book shop and bought it, off the newsstand, this is the cover you had. But if you went to Los Angeles and went to the regular newsstand, the cover was completely different. And I remember it just so happened that at the time I visited Guam, and there was a specific cover that was only available in the Pacific Theater, Guam. And I'm like, I'm getting it. Even though I don't collect this comic, I'm getting it. And I don't know, like 6 months later, I sold it for like $60. And because how did you get this cover? It's only available in Guam. I went to Guam and got it. And I'm wondering, are they? I got pictures. Here's me on the beach. But do you think it's a possibility? I was wondering that because my region didn't get a whole lot of those scuba tack sets. Was there another set that some other area has like a whole bunch of scuba tacks, but they didn't have like the his what set was that where he had like that flying go-kart thing, the heroic jet sled, right? Yeah,
I definitely. Sorry, I don't think it's like you're saying about a region thing. I mean, I'm 15 minutes from Target's corporate headquarters, and we have a ton of Targets here. Like, I literally could go out right now. They're probably open for 2.5 hours. If I had to produce at least 10 Zodak scuba sets, I could do that before 10 in the next 2.5 hours. Like, they're all over the place.
I haven't seen them at all after the two I found.
I don't know. There's tons of them up here.
Huh. Might be a small market there.
Although, how many?
What about the? Do you have a Five Below?
Yeah, well, I just went to one. There was nothing.
But do you remember when there was? I went to Five Below like last year and bought, I think, like 4 or 5, at least 5 of them. The Beastman figures, because one of the ideas out, in some people say that Beastman isn't a single, entity. He comes from an entire tribe or entire race of beast men. And someone had, posted a bunch of pictures where they had several of the Beastman characters. And of course, the one red Beastman from the Castle Grayskull set was the Beastman, and all the other Beastman characters was like members of his tribe. And like when I saw that, like, oh, that's cool. And when I saw those Beastman, I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm gonna get a whole tribe of Beastman. But somebody else had gotten a whole bunch of other Masters of the Universe Mega Bloks characters from Five Below. It wasn't Beastman. It was some other character.
Yeah, that Series 5 Heroes set that had the first Scareglow in it.
Yeah, and Stratos, the one you're missing.
Yeah, Scareglow I never saw him in the wild. I had to order him online. I had to buy him from a scalper. But I got him. I got 2 of them actually. One on my shelf and one still in the sealed package.
Yeah,
so that picture that you had up earlier of what was it? There was the
box set here.
Manny Faces. Who else was in there? Manny Faces and and Roboto. No, it's Roboto and
the Amazon 5-pack.
There's from boxes
circulating around Mexico.
That's only in Mexico.
Well, this is where this one was found. I bet you there's a bunch in Canada.
Oh, right. Yeah. And it might be in Canada too.
But,
See, I'm glad I didn't wait. When I first saw those figures coming out, I was thinking, oh, I'll have to be looking for them in the stores. But I've been wrong. They never showed up in the stores, at least not here, not in Indiana. I'm guessing no place in the U.S.
Yeah, there's
so I had to pre-order.
I don't have any Mega Masters stuff in my Walmarts at all. I don't think they were carrying them for this fall. So maybe they'll be back in January. We can hope.
You think they try to push them out for Christmas, but
yeah.
How far do you think you're behind on, like when Landshark and the Hordak Attack get released in November? My local stores are like 2 months behind what it seems like, from everyone else, where I get online and I'll see people are doing reviews of it and, posting pictures of, like today's haul of, what they got. And I would notice how, like, some specific people that when it shows up in their store, that exactly 1 month later, it'll show up in my store. So I can kind of gauge it. Like if I see that it showed up in your store on this week, I know in about 3 or 4 weeks, I got to start going to the store every single day looking for it to get it. It is if I don't pre-order it. And then, like, I remember the problem with the Talon and the Point Dread set. I was so, nervous about whether or not I was going to get that set. And then after I had found, online, I bought it online. And then I was thinking, well, it's gonna be a rare set. It's gonna be hard. It's hard for me to get. I bought 2. And I'm thinking, well, I can sell one online, and like it never sold. Then later on, it showed up at the local stores, Target and Walmart, and then eventually it went on sale, where it's like it's on sale, and I'm like, oh well. I mean, I paid full price for 2 sets, but I got 2 sets. One that's open and one that's not open. And now I got 3 sets. I got 2 that I built, another one that's unbuilt, and then another set that's still in a sealed box. So yeah, I got 4 sets. And when that set first came out, when everyone was getting it, it was one of them. It was like that meme where everybody's got one but me.
Yeah.
And for a while, for about 2 months, everybody is showing off their Point Dread, their Point Dread set, and I got nothing. Now I got 4 of them. How's that joke go? In the beginning, I had nothing. I got twice that now.
Yeah. And that's how it goes. I mean, I think I paid full price for my first one, and then I found one on clearance.
Yeah, but you don't want to pay the scalper price. That hurts.
No, I didn't. I think I ordered one online, so I probably paid retail plus shipping, and then I bought a second one. Yeah, I got a second one at Walmart. The box was damaged, so I got 20% off, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." But when she rang it up, it was 20% off, $15.
Yeah, the set you're building right now. When I first ordered that, I had to send it back, and I was all upset about that because I don't know if like someone stomped on it or something, but the bubble package that it was delivered in had popped, where like there was enough pressure on it that the end had popped open. It split open the box, and even though the pieces are, in bags and stuff, I'm like, yeah, see, I don't know if one of the inner bags was also damaged and a piece was lost. And so I took it back, where they had a deal with Kohl's that if you get something from Amazon and you want to return it, you drop it off at Kohl's, and then you get a receipt, and then they refund you and everything. And so then I ordered another one, and I don't know if I'm properly using the term ironic, but it's almost sarcastic that when they did send me another one, it was in a sealed box, in a sealed package with all the sealed envelopes. and it was missing. And I told you before, it was missing one piece, and it was just one of those little red spikes. So there was just one missing. Like usually that's like where you get like 3 extra ones. That since those are so light by weight, when they filled the bags, a lot of times you would get multiples of those. And I was missing one, and I'm like, you jerk! I was missing one anyway. And the thing is, here's the part that would have been, the irony is my friends were saying, that one you sent back, it was complete. You sent them back a complete one, and they gave you one that was missing one piece. Trolls. They're trolling me. Amazon is trolling me hard.
That is funny, though.
So now this new set has the sword. It has the purple sword.
Yeah, so I want to talk about this new set and new pieces in the set. What do you guys think we're going to get?
Is the purple axe new? I can't remember do we have that from do you have that with Panther?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got one sitting right in front of me. The Flocked Panther set, the battle damage.
Yeah, I see it here.
Yeah, no.
I forget. I got a ton of those. I can't remember. He's got an axe. Well,
So he's got the battle axe with the what was that other larger set? It wasn't was it Point Dread?
what?
Because the previous set that he had his battle armor that is clean, undamaged. Some
Yeah.
people were pointing it out online. If you look closely at his chest, he has the 2 battle marks on there. So he has the purple sword, like what came with the Wind Raider.
Right.
But at one point, the Wind Raider, if you didn't get the Wind Raider set, then you don't have a purple power sword. Now he has both the battle axe and the power sword, so he doesn't have the Havoc staff.
I saw somebody post, some people are late to the line, but they didn't know you could get a Havoc staff. So whatever.
Yeah, that was in the Wave 1, the very first figure that came out.
Yeah.
Huh. So what I wanted to bring up about this land shark is we were talking about the teeth a couple of episodes ago.
Yeah.
And if you look carefully at this picture here, you can tell that is actually a hard plastic piece. That is actually snapped down. It's got, I don't know if you can see my mouse or not. Hold on, let me go to the picture. If you see right here, this piece right here, that is hard plastic inside of a, what is it? These are sloped parts. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like the front, like a boat. What would that be called, Brian? Like it's the front end of a boat, like a hold out large.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. But
A canoe piece?
it looks like it's
Yeah,
a whole one. It's a whole plate, isn't it?
It is. It looks like it's one plate. Now I'm not sure if the top and the bottom, they actually might even be different. They look like they're cut differently. They look like they're cut opposite from each other. But yeah, if you look in the side of the mouth there, it's got the little parts where it comes in and hooks onto the studs. So I'm excited about that because we were discussing whether or not it'd be fabric.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be a slightly rubberized piece. It wouldn't be, real hard plastic. It would be rubberized. I'm thinking like the same type of plastic that they make the treads out of, because I'm still, assuming that those treads, do turn. We talked about that before. That black, the blue tread part is probably identical to whatever that Mega Bloks Halo set was, only they molded it in blue plastic, and it turns and rotates. But I've been thinking about this for a while, that because I don't collect all the different Mega Bloks sets, I'm wondering how many pieces did they have to design and manufacture from scratch for this, as opposed to a pre-existing piece that they just simply mold in the proper color, where it's like the the not the treads themselves, but the rotors that they fit around. I'm pretty sure that's just stock from some other tank, piece that they had. They just molded it in that blue plastic. Whereas like the projectiles, do you recognize those from any other set? Are those those projectiles? Are those a freshly molded piece for this set?
I think there might have been elsewhere.
Yeah, because they're molded in a different color and they're placed in a different fashion. You may not recognize them until you get them in hand, and then if you've handled that, the original piece before, you're like, oh, this is that piece from such and such set. Where like when I was putting together a bunch of, or the Wind Raider, there were, or not the Wind Raider, the Talon. There's that piece that fits over the top of the beak part, that has connectors on either sides. I'm like, oh, this is a whole brand new piece. I've never seen this piece before. Then when I start looking at some of the Call of Duty pieces or Call of Duty sets, I'm like, oh, they had this in the Call of Duty set like years ago. And now because I'm going back and getting some of the, I don't know if you've noticed on some of the Facebook pages, I do that Throwback Thursday that I've been doing.
There it is.
You remember those? I'm starting to figure out like how far back do some of these pieces go. When you look at these pieces, I'm like, this certain piece, they had it back in 2001, where I was thinking it was a more modern piece, because I'm remembering Legos from the 70s where basically everything was just a square block. There really wasn't a whole lot. There was like the windows and the doors and the door frames. And then remember the roof pieces that had like that one, angle, the very top ridge of those.
Right.
Those pieces go way back to like the, they were pieces and sets when I was a kid. So I figured they go back to the 60s or even 50s when the sets first came out. Then there are some of these newer pieces that I'm thinking, like with this Land Shark set that's coming out, how many pieces in that set are just simply pre-existing piece molded in different colored plastic, or did they have to completely tool a whole new piece that they can now use in some other set? And like with the teeth, I was wondering, well, they had like dragon sets in the past. Are those teeth recycled from one of the dragon sets, or is that a brand new tooling?
No, these are brand new molds. These teeth, you can see.
That's what I think. I think
they snap in. Like I said, the top and the bottom are different. So looks like one's gonna have the stud, like the base. One's gonna be a plate. The other one looks like it's gonna be studs on top. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see.
So how many did you pre-order? Joint pre-order one, or did you pre-order a couple of sets?
I only pre-ordered one just to see if it would actually come in.
Yeah,
I've got three coming.
I'm using myself as a guinea pig. I didn't order all three new sets all at once. I ordered two of the zombie slime pit, even though they don't use the word slime, but it's that Hordak zombie, the green Skeletor head. I ordered two of those, and I ordered one of the Land Shark, and then I waited like 6 weeks to order the Hordak Attack that has that, the thing that spins around. And the experiment on that is to see, are they going to ship all three together at the same time, or are they going to ship it the way I ordered it? That because I ordered so early, the earliest I saw these, available was the 27th of August, but because of the international date, the time zone, it appears that I ordered it on the 26th, even though here in Indiana it was already the 27th, but it's recorded online as me ordering it on the 26th because of the time zones. So I'm thinking, they're probably going to send the Land Shark and the zombie the He-Man zombie Skeletor head at first, and then it may be a few weeks before I get the Hordak attack set that comes with Hordak and She-Ra. But I mean, I would be perfectly happy if they sent them all together in one box. But that I kind of did that on purpose, to see, when will it get shipped? Because I don't want to be nosy, but like a lot of times when I would see someone get something that I pre-ordered, I'm like, hey, when did you exactly pre-order it? Did you pre-order it before I pre-ordered it, and that's why you got it first? Or for some reason they like you more than me and they sent you yours first, even though I ordered mine first? Because I'm paranoid.
It's you'll make yourself crazy trying to hash that out. Sometimes it makes no sense at all. It's just...
I think deep thoughts. These are deep thoughts. Do you got to know somebody? Then it's proximity, Then also, I don't know who is managing their shipping department. Where does the shipping department manager decide because there's regions, there's different types of regions that we're going to ship all this region first. So even though someone in region 1 waited until the last day to pre-order, he's still going to get his pre-order before someone in region 3 who ordered it on the first day it was first available for pre-order, because we're not going to ship to that region until next week. Like, I don't know, but I'm aware of, these type of, shipping logistics. It's logistics. So I waited as long as I could to order that Hordak attack. When I went and looked at my notes, I realized, like, wow, it was 6 weeks. I ordered the Land Shark, and then 6 weeks later, I finally ordered the Hordak attack.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I got them pre-ordered. It's not like the boat's going to sink and they're going to end up at the bottom of the ocean.
They could.
If the boat comes in port, that's the problem. Oh.
Didn't that actually happen? That actually happened, didn't it?
Oh, it
I don't know if it's Photoshop or something. I remember a while ago it was a meme where someone posted a picture of one of those shipping cargo Constrxs, and they had a big stack of those. They were stacked up, and they had fallen over, and they're like, some of them were smashed, and there was an arrow pointing that said, "Your pre-order is here." And I'm like, "Yeah, probably right."
Mm-hmm.
Hey Nate, can you switch back, or can you switch to the cover? I'm wondering what color Prince Adam's weapons are. They look black right there.
I think they're like kind of a darkish gray.
Gunmetal?
Maybe.
Yeah.
They look a little different than normal.
About the same color as Hordak's arms.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you look at the top of the robot creature, and I'm like, what color is that? Because of lighting, it kind of change the way it looks. But from
there we go.
From what I'm looking at, it looks like it's a gunmetal. It's not black. It's not silver. And then because other pieces, like the body, the legs, I think I judge as being black. The pinchers are red, but I think the round body part is a more bluer color than the head that I look at as being like a gunmetal. It might even have some type of metallic flake in it, and that's just from previous Mega Block sets I've gotten in the past. It's very rare that they now produce plastic that's a pure color. There's always a slight different tone to it, or there'll be, if you look closely, you can see other little smaller speckles in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There. Now it does look more of a blue. So it is the lighting.
Yeah. So it looks
and then
like
also,
top's kind of a black, and the bottom's a really dark navy blue, isn't it? I mean,
it kind of has like a bluish green. Right. And then also, I've noticed in the past, with other action figures, the actual product that they have in the box doesn't actually match the box art. And like I've seen that with
product may vary.
Yeah, right, exactly. Product may vary. And then there was years ago, I sent a friend of mine an extra action figure that I got, and I didn't know at the time, but I sent him a rare variant. And he goes, "Oh, and you even sent me the rare variant," and I'm like, "I didn't know I did that."
Right.
I wanted to keep the rare variant for myself, and it was something over I don't know if you remember way back in the day. There was a Boba Fett character, and on the back of his hand, there was the way the glove was. There was one variant where it was just a white circle on the back of his hand. Then there was another variant that it had a stripe across it that was more accurate. And if you had it still in the original sealed, box, you can see the back of his hand. If it's just the circle without the stripe across it, that's the rare variant that everyone wants. And it's like $70. And I had two Transformers. When they did that oversized sea spray, who was he was big. I sent one to a friend of mine, and he had did an online opening. And that's the first thing he said. He goes, "Oh, hey, I think you sent me the rare variant." And I'm like, I did? Yeah, that's right. Of course I did. Always the best for you. I sent them the rare variant. not knowing there was a rare variant.
Yeah, really.
And that was one of the things I was thinking, at some point, someone's going to find a rare variant of Man-at-Arms that he'll be in the single hero package, but he'll be without the mustache. And that was another one of those things of when I saw all those Man-at-Arms, at the store, I didn't buy any of them. I was going through them and I was looking to see, am I going to find one without a mustache? And I ended up putting them all back, and eventually they all got sold. And I only have 2 or 3 Man-at-Arms. I got one on my shelf, and I know I got one that's still in the sealed package, and then the one that came with Castle Grayskull, and he's a different shade of green, apart from not having a mustache. But that's something I've always noticed, that if they ever reissued a whole new Castle Grayskull, would it be with different figures? Would it be a different? I would hope it wouldn't be a different shade of green. It's got to be that same shade of sand green. Yeah, there they are. You counting them? How many you got?
These all have mustaches on them, man.
Right. But now that I mentioned that, are you going to go back and look and see? Can you find one still in a package without the mustache?
Without the mustache. Yeah.
Well, without the mustache. Because I don't know if it's Photoshop, but I would see. Have you seen some of those memes or pictures people post where it would be the wrong figure on the card? I don't know if the card is. I guess you consider the card is what's wrong.
I'll tell you what, though, guys. If you have any of these older figures, these bubbles are coming apart. These are not going to stay sealed.
Yeah,
I got one out of these 8.
The corners are. Oh yeah, it's just falling apart.
Yeah, and this is the only one that glue's actually still good all the way around.
Staple it.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with them? Are you going to modify them and make them into palace guards? Or are you going to scalp them later on?
I might make them into palace guards without modifying.
Yeah. Now I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know, karma, voodoo, or something like that. But I've always noticed, in the past, there's certain figures I want, and I wait, and the figure never comes out, and then finally, I'll do a custom figure, and the next day it's announced, oh, hey, this new figure is coming out. And I'm like, this one, my custom means nothing. And that was the thing with the Roboto, when I had made that Roboto, and I'm like, this is voodoo magic. You want a Roboto? I will make it. I make a Roboto, and the following week, it's oh, hey, Roboto's coming out. Yeah. You're welcome. I did that. It's my fault. You guys saw the custom Roboto I made.
I think so.
I did.
I think that was my second custom. The first custom I did was Keldor. And when he first came out, like, oh wow, this is awesome. And like now everybody, they're like, there's some really good looking Keldor figures people have done. Mine's a shame now. I'm embarrassed. It's garbage.
But yours was first.
Right, yeah, it was like way back. I did that Keldor. But see, the thing is, it's just because I'm not familiar, I didn't join the right groups. There was like, that one guy, I don't know if he's from South America or something, but he has like 20 different, custom figures. He like did everything. He even had the that reverse Eternia, that black and red He-Man. He'd already did that one.
Mm-hmm.
He did of course, Hordak and the Evil Horde. And then
Right.
it makes you start thinking, because of the different gimmicks, what would happen if they decided to actually make a commercialized what's his name? The one that had fur on him. He was an Evil Horde character.
Grizzlor.
Grizzlor?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. How would they do that? Are they going to put hair on it, or is it going to have like molded hair shaped? Is it going to be clean shaven?
I don't know.
How would they do that?
I always thought the vintage one looked kind of stupid because it just looked like a big puff ball.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't. Nah, we'll just leave him here. He can guard the base.
Yeah, I was never into him.
And you didn't want to get it wet, because then it would smell like wet dog.
Yeah, that was a weird design.
I remember
How much is that figure you think is that going for nowadays? The what?
You're saying give him a
my
haircut?
friend's sister got a hold of the Grizzlor and cut all the hair off.
Oh, right, yeah. Take clippers to him.
Yeah, like get gum stuck in them.
nightmare.
Depending on the condition, I've seen Grizzlors go for $5. I've seen them go for 50.
Well, there's a dark face, and that's the variant.
Variants, right. There you go, the variants.
There you go.
But yeah, see, a lot of times I wonder, when it comes to stuff like that, are those variants really done on accident, or are they kind of done on purpose? Because, I have a coin collection, and I'm aware of, like, mint errors. And there are some mint errors are virtually impossible to happen. It's got to be done on purpose by someone that works in the mint, that they're causing these errors to happen. The most common, of course, is like a penny that's printed or stamped out on a nickel. How do you even screw that up? Remember like the meme, you had one job. How do you screw that up?
Hey, sometimes people are on the lunch and just like, it'll be funny. I'm gonna print me some penny nickels. I know right now the big thing is my brother-in-law collects coins, and they're always looking at rolls of quarters. They want the ones at the ends that have got the markings on them from the machine. I don't know. Well, gentlemen, on that note, I am going to call this live stream done.
It went by fast.
It did. It's a quick one, but it's all right. That's why I keep them short. Keep them about an hour. So thank you both for joining me again. Good night, everyone else. We had one person watching. Thank you. And I'll catch you on the next one.